As I promised, as I told you, here I am with that video. But yeah, it's not Friday, it's Saturday. I couldn't get it done. I was way too wasted. And as I said, I promise one video every day, but it won't happen every day, right? There'll be some days that are just different. And even though yesterday was Friday, man, I'll be only working for 2 more weeks every day for like 12 hours. After that, I'll have a break again. So, but yeah, as we saw it, that video is here. And even Atosi made a video on its own, and I was like, damn, should have done it yesterday. Would have been the same. We would have uploaded at the same time. That would be a cool coincidence. I think I'm on the right track, even though not a single motherfucker is watching my videos. I don't know if it's on purpose, but it'll hit eventually. With that being said, do what you always do. Let's go.
What's going on, guys? Dayton Weber here.
First of all, man, it's absolutely obnoxious. What is that? I mean, apparently he even fled the state. A cripple. Bruh. I mean, like, I'm not trying to speak derogatory of him. But he's a murderer. I mean, cripple in jail. Damn, son. Thought I saw everything. But never be so sure that you saw everything. There's always something that you wouldn't expect.
He's a story of inspiration to so many people, a quadruple amputee turned pro cornhole player who didn't let a physical disability stop him from living to the fullest.
10-4 should be a white sedan, a male was shot in the head, number 2 male, red shirt.
But now, he's accused in a brutal killing. What deputies say happened inside his car that turned...
How is he even pulling the trigger? How? There must be some ledge attached to it. Something like that. Doesn't make any sense otherwise.
This motivational speaker into an alleged murderer. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. All right, hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about this app, and it's going to be a huge help for you. It's called Upside. It gets you cash back on everyday purchases like gas, groceries, and takeout. So here's what you do. Download Upside for free, claim an offer, then verify the purchase, and you get money back. So I've used Upside, like whether I'm getting gas, maybe I'm doing takeout, look it up on the app, find an offer on Upside, then after I spend,
let's play
money
it out.
will appear in my app, and I just transfer it straight to my bank. Upside's frequent users earn an average of $200.
Yeah. Now we're not playing it out. Because Law and Crime Network turned into a podcast, man.
$54 back a year. So to start getting on your first tank of gas. Well, this story has a headline that will make you do a double take. A quadruple amputee pro cornhole player accused of shooting and killing a friend who was riding with him in a car.
What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how I crank back my crossbow.
This is Dayton Weber. He's 27 years old, and he's from Charles County, Maryland, which is an area south of Washington, D.C. As we're recording this, Dayton is being transferred back to his home state.
Bro, he's even smiling in his mugshot. That's Devil's lapdog. Looks like a corgi, too. God damn, son.
After he was arrested in Virginia, authorities say he shot and killed a man who was riding in his SUV, then allegedly dumped his body on the side of the road before he took off.
Someone was shot. 2236.
He even dumped the body.
Für mich Eishorn.
He even dumped the body,
Einhorn.
guys.
Find alles für süße Ostern.
Now look, it is shocking what deputies are alleging Weber did as he drove his car with 3 passengers inside. Not just the crime, but the alleged aftermath that led to a manhunt across state lines. But before we talk about the crime, we got to talk about Dayton Weber, who this person is and what made him such an inspirational story to so many people, at least before what deputies say happened
That
on
cake.
Saturday night.
Nah, I'm kidding, bro. Nah, I'm kidding. But like sometimes we gotta look at it with a humorous eye. I know it's not a laughable topic. I am hella aware of that. But come on, man. Come on, man.
You're looking at a video here of Weber competing in a cornhole competition. He posted this to his TikTok. So Weber was a professional in the sport or activity that a lot of us do at tailgates and barbecues. He would play cornhole by propelling himself forward with a bag to throw it. He does not have arms and he does not have legs, but he was really good at cornhole. In fact, according to ESPN in 2020, Weber was named the best cornhole player in all of Maryland. That is of all players across the state, not just people with disabilities. Now, ESPN.
Okay. That's crazy. I was about to say how many people actually play that sport, because if it's a crippled sport, not that many people will attempt it, right? And not many people will stick to it and get better. But apparently it's not just like, I don't even know what kind of sport it is, bro. I'm a European. Like, we got different type of sports and playful activities over here.
ESPN actually did a 6-minute feature on Dayton in 2023. And in that story, Dayton's family says when he was 10 months old, he got a bacterial infection that led to sepsis and it nearly killed him. But in an effort to save his life, they had to amputate his arms and his legs.
Like that second shot a little better, don't you?
Now, what made Dayton's life story so special is that Dayton went on to live his life like anyone would. In fact, he probably does more than a lot of people do. He's an avid outdoorsman. He often posted videos.
I was 1 week ago, I was in a store doing my job because like I'm going from store to store to check if their layout is correct and stuff like that. And I stood in the store and there was somebody who had the same disability as him. That guy stood there. He had what it's called, like prosthesis. Like, yeah, he stood on wood, right? Like they replaced his leg with with a wooden leg, right? And he stood there and he was just doing his thing, and I was admiring him. Like, he paid with card with no hands, like his hands, like his arms were ended here as well. So, and he did everything. He grabbed the bag. I mean, like, he had to use his mouth to get to the credit card and pay with it. So, like, to get it out of the wallet, and then he took it like that, beep. Took the wallet back, folded it, and I'm like, and sometimes I get upset over stupid things. That just shows you that life gets so boring, and you should always be reminded that worse is always possible. Like, I will get that quote through, even though it's in German. Schlimmer geht immer. Worse is always possible. Just, you think you got it bad? You got it bad till now. Wait for it. A rainy day might come.
Videos on social media showing him out hunting with bows and guns. Here he is with a gun strapped to his back, climbing up into a tree stand while he's out hunting. But cornhole is really where Dayton became a national story. He told ESPN that he would compete in dozens of tournaments a month. And then in 2023, he got a spot in the big time, the American Cornhole League. This is like the major leagues for people who throw bags. Dayton said his life motto was "The world won't wait." But now that award-winning smile, it's been replaced with what looks like a grin in his mugshot, and it is chilling
sad.
when you think of what he is accused of, that would be the facial expression he would give the camera.
Someone was shot. 50.
Oh. You know, that's what I like about reaction stuff, because like you see the process of me learning from the first minute of the video to the 10th minute till the 20th minute, 30th minute, whatever, how long that video takes, right? And at first I thought to my fucking self, my dumbass thought, amputee committed quadruple murder. But it's a quadruple amputee that committed one murder. I mean, like, that's why I thought, like, bro, 4 murders by an amputee, bro. Stay safe out there, I guess. Even crawlers from Black Ops 1 can get you.
2236. I'm still waiting on a call to you, but it sounds like they're in a vehicle covered in blood, possibly going to CRMC, but I'm still trying to get further.
So let's break down what Dayton is accused of doing. He was driving in a car, his own SUV. He's driving.
I gotta say, to this point, like I felt, yeah, he like an inspiration. That he was an inspiration, like with overcoming his disability, acting like and playing like a normal person, right? Getting shit done like a normal person. So like I'ma treat you now as a normal person, Black Ops 1 crawler. That's just it, bro. That's just it. Keep him locked up. I mean, what is that? What is that? I'm gonna make fun of him now. Before that, before the murder charge, he was an inspiration. He threw that all away. His legs and arms got cut off. Not his brain got taken out. So he knows exactly what's wrong and what's not wrong. So if you shoot a friend like close range, like if you execute him, you should go to jail, point blank, period. There's no what ifs and buts.
There were 3 people inside. They're going through Charles County, Maryland, and police were waved down around 10:30 on Saturday night by 2 people on the side of the road who said they were in that vehicle driven by Weber. Deputies say that Weber got into an argument with the person who was riding shotgun.
10-4 should be a white sedan, and male was shot in the head. Number 2 male, red shirt.
So he was driving.
So deputies get waved down by these 2 people on the side of the road. And they have this incredible story, terrifying, of what Weber allegedly did inside the vehicle, shooting the person who was riding shotgun because of an argument. And the issue, though, at that point was they didn't have Weber, the deputies, and they didn't have the SUV, and they also didn't have a body. Now, roughly 2 hours later, there was a 911 call that came in from someone who said a body had been dumped in their front yard, which was just about a 10-minute drive away from where those 2 people waved deputies down. Now, that body was of a 27-year-old man who deputies have identified as Bradrick Michael Wells. He was dead.
For me, I'm sorry if I'll offend a few people, but that picture sums up America. Disability and guns. I mean, like Switzerland got guns too. We ride around like in public transport, bro. We got guns on our back. Not saying it's like the cartels, but like if you go to service or if you just came from service and you're going home, you're allowed to carry the rifle openly. You're not. A mag should not be in it, of course. It's hella sad, man. Mr. Wells, rest in peace. Praise to the family, bro. Nah, that's fucked up. I don't care if he has a disability or not. Now he's being treated as equal as a murderer. He's a murderer. The world got some crazy stories, and that's why I love the internet. Without the internet, we would not hear about these stories. That's what I like about social media and the World Wide Web. Bro, let me get you a shower.
All right, before we get back to this case, I do have some big news to share because we finally launched our very own streaming app, Law and Crime Plus, and you are going to love it. Check this out.
Get on the ground right now! This is Law and Crime Plus. Ad-free, on-demand access to our hit series and exclusive access to
Not bad. All right. We got that idiot too. There's a lot of people, man.
our case files,
You can see his brain laying on the sidewalk.
911 calls,
My wife and child got badly.
and the evidence they don't show you on TV. Join the community and track breaking stories. Stream now on Crime Plus.
All right, so trust me, we have a lot of cool stuff in the works that you definitely don't want to miss out on. Head over to lawandcrimeplus.com today. You can grab a limited time deal for just $3.99 a month or $40.99 a year. All right, let's get back to the story. Now, before we get back to how deputies tracked Weber down, we need to talk about this video. Because in the wake of this
It
story
was at the end of the round,
this
right?
video that Weber
He
posted to
comes
his YouTube
crawling.
page has been getting a lot of attention. It
All right.
shows Weber loading and firing a 9mm handgun
lock him up.
despite not having
Lock him up,
hands.
man.
Now, on Saturday night, the witnesses who waved the deputies down claimed that they were able to get out of Weber's Tesla when he pulled over to the side of the road after allegedly shooting Wells. Weber allegedly asked the two passengers to help dump Wells' body. The two passengers say they refused. Then, after they got out of the car, Weber sped off and allegedly dumped that body down the street. Now, after that, Weber vanished.
Copy Dayton Weber. No direction of travel.
I look out local for that area.
He was speeding. Bro, I'm sorry, but I always get caught off guard, like with the fact that an amputee was committing like a heinous act and fleeing the state. That catches me off guard every time I hear it.
A suspect that shot the hidden vehicle which has close injury is going to be a white Tesla. A white Tesla.
Okay, I don't like these flashing lights. So
Eventually,
thank
Weber
you.
was found more than 100 miles away in Charlottesville, Virginia. It's about a 2.5-hour drive from where all of this took place in Charles County, Maryland. Now, deputies say that Weber was arrested at a hospital in Virginia where he was being treated for a medical issue. And this is the mugshot that was taken by authorities in Virginia. Weber was arrested and charged as a fugitive from justice in Virginia. He is expected to be returned to Maryland, where he will be charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and other related charges, according to the Charles County Sheriff. Now, deputies say that Weber and the three people who were in his car, they all knew each other. It's unclear what Dayton's side to the story is, and of course, he is innocent until proven guilty. Now, this case, because of who Dayton Weber is, because of the disability that he has, it's raised a lot of questions about how all of this went down. How could it go down? We found this Facebook post. It's by a friend of Dayton's. And I think it's an important read because it does raise some of the questions that you may be having when you first saw this story come across your social media feed. That post says, quote, "So let's make some sense of this situation. And hear me out, people. How does a quad amputated person drive a car, pull a trigger, and drop off someone in a front yard with two others in the back seat of the car and have zero help? How long was he trying to gain access to this firearm before it was discharged? How long did the other individuals watch him get the gun and take aim? Why did the two witnesses in the back seat not stop this from happening? Even if they were stationary and this happened, it still takes time for someone who has no arms and no legs make all
How did someone with arms not intervene? That's a great point. That's a great point. I mean, like, yeah, if that crawler has like a gun, like, I don't know, man. And the driver, like, he was the driver. Yeah, it must be like a special Joe Swanson vehicle. Must be. I mean, like otherwise, your legs won't reach like the gas pedal and the clutch and whatsoever. Like it couldn't reach it. So there's no way that you operate a vehicle like that. There's just no way.
All of this happened without someone stopping it. There is something to this story that does not add up. There are no excuses for the events that took place, and nor am I trying to defend anyone, but please help me make sense of the situation. I'm sorry for the loss of the family and friends, and not a single person deserves to lose their life over any situation. This post is not to start an argument or because I'm heartless, but please just help make this make sense. Joining us now to talk more about this case is Lisa Miller, retired detective, former chief investigator. Great to have you on Law and Crime. I think a lot of people with this story, first off, it's just a major double take on the headline, just trying to understand that part of it. But then I think trying to visualize.
Okay. I want to see if something else unfolds, right? Because like I'm not here to like fully. I'll link the video. I will link the video definitely. But I wanna check it out if something else unfolded. Like sometimes you just gotta do your investigation by yourself. And like we've heard now everything from that video. If you wanna see it, I'll link it. Yeah, he's getting better at it as well. Over 500 rocket landings. Yeah. Yeah. Look, man. Not quite sure. I mean, like, he will face trial. He will face those charges. But look at that grin. That grin is not, yeah. It's crazy, man. He was an inspiration. And I want to end the video on a good note. Like, we've all got just shitty days and stuff like that. And I don't need to make him shittier. I mean, look at that face, bro. Like, something is.
I'm Dayton Weber, and I'm a professional cornhole player. I had gotten a bacterial infection when I was just 10 months old. The infection that got into my arms and legs was called Streptococcus pneumoniae. They had actually given me a 3% chance of living, and the only way that they were able to save me was by getting the infections out of my system. They had to amputate my arms and legs to keep me alive. I'm thankful for the Lord and giving those surgeons the power that he did that day to be able to make such a miracle happen. Inspiration to me is a daily drive.
Imagine like the doctors feeling bad that they amputated his legs and thing because like now he committed a heinous act. Of course, it's not their fault at all. But I'm saying, man, imagine like you're thinking about it like, damn, like my actions, like ultimately, like even though it's like 20 years later, 30 years later almost, like doesn't matter, but like certain actions have consequences, and it's wild that you're trying your best to save this boy, and it ends up in a homicide charge. Like, just like think about it. Crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, but I'm ending the video on a high note. I don't want to look at the whole law and crime thingy.
I believe that God put me on this planet for one reason. Everybody's got their reasons for being here, but my reason, I feel like, is to inspire other people just by me doing my daily tasks. I want them to have the sense of I can go out there and do anything I put my mind to. If they say, I want to go out and become a pro cornhole player now, I want them to look at me and be like, I can do it. I know I can. Anybody can play, anybody can win.
And he snapped, bro. He snapped, bro. That's not a person who should be out, especially like walking and talking with guns. Nah, bro, that ain't it. Let's see. I will cover how it turns out. I will. But until then, like he's expected to be transferred back to Maryland. But until then, we gotta wait and see. That's about it. See ya.